My name is Professor James Dundas. I thought I'd make a video on how to repair the Benjamin pump rod seal. And this is a Benjamin model 122. In this particular model, there's a Benjamin 100, which shoots BBs, the 102, which is a 22 caliber, the 107, which is .177 pellet, and the caliber, model number 177 also is a .177 pellet, but it's rifled. So this is where you find the model number, and obviously it is 22. This gun is in pretty nice shape. I have removed one screw because obviously I don't think you're interested in removing screws. So we're going to take the other screw out. And the thing that you might want, I strongly suggest, is a little parts bowl. And you also need, or I would suggest, some neat's foot oil. This I got at Amazon. It was about $8, and this is for leather. You just shouldn't use anything but leather, neat's foot oil on leather. No, they're not my sponsor. I don't have a sponsor. I don't want a sponsor. I don't like commercials. Also, Amazon carries the brass black if you want to bring it back to the way it came out of the factory. Can't just use bluing. You have to use this. So let's remove this screw. In the parts bowl. By the way, that little screw, I had to go place it sells Benjamin parts. It was $4.50 for that screw, and I know that screw is somewhere probably 60 cents, maybe a buck at the most, plus shipping, plus tax, and your state requires the tax. I've taken this screw. Now both these screws are out, and I'm going to pull on this. This is called a pull-push gun. It comes out really easy. Now this is what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to put this one back in because this has been just repaired, and I really don't want to fool with this. But I have the same thing right here. Inside of this, now this is easy to come out because I loosened it. Take a piece of leather, pair of pliers, hold it here because this is going to be and should be tight. So you take this out. Now this is known as the pump rod. This is the pump rod seal. This particular pump rod and pump rod seal is used in the following guns. Obviously all Benjamin 100, the 102, the 107, the 177, the 122, the model 110, 112, 117, and 150. The 130, 32, 37, and 160 and the 1320 are different, very different. So now we'll start with this one. You take this out. This is the insert. It has a beveled. The screw is beveled. This portion here is a spreader. You don't need this. Why did they put it in there if it's not needed? Because the wall thickness of this seal, this leather seal, is really thin compared to, if I can find it here, A new replacement, which is this that you can send away for, is considerably thicker. You don't need the spreader. Now there's nothing, this seal is still pretty good and still viable. Here's the problem. When you buy one of these, and now where do I get it? I'm usually at the end of the video, I'll tell you where, but this is where you can get the majority of the Benjamin parts. Again, I'm not affiliated with these people, but they're not inexpensive, but they're not ridiculous, but they're the only game in town for some items. So now back to this. Well, here's this spreader. Here's the spreader we don't need. Well, I'm just going to take this and put it in here. No, it's not going to fit. It's way too wide. So what do you have to do? You have to grind it down. If you have a lathe, okay, end of the story. Easy. What you can do is take from the back side, put this in like a bolt, take a small nut, screw the nut on here, screwdriver, wrench, tighten that up. You have to keep this lined up. If you don't keep it lined up, and then we also want to look at the end. Does it look like it's even all the way around? If it's not, then you have to adjust it so it is. You don't want it offset. This is then a locking nut, just a regular nut. You're going to put this in here. And tighten it down. You don't have a lathe. Oh, great. Well, then use a drill and use like a zip tie, tie that trigger so it's on, secure the drill, of course. You tighten this in here and sit there and file and file and file and file and file until this, which was this insert, will go into this brand new sloppy. See how it's kind of sloppy? Well, then why didn't I do it just right? You don't want it just right, because for this to work, when I pull that pump rod, these walls have to collapse to suck the air to create the pressure. When you create the pressure, it pushes these walls out. Now, these aren't going to want to collapse at all. That's why you have the neat's foot oil. When you're ready to put this in, you make sure it goes in real nice and easy. If you have to force it in, it is not going to work. So now, we've got this cut down to where it slops in here real nice and easy. And then we're going to put it on the pump rod. No, it's not going to fit. And it's got to be that diameter. The hole is too small. It's not going to go on. So I made one out of steel. There's two